Well, hey, John Browning, how are you doing today, sir?
Fantastic.
I
Beautiful
love it.
day. I mean, it couldn't get any better.
I'm glad. Well, it could because now you're talking to me, and so that's okay. And
Well, and you know what? That's what made it fantastic.
there you go. I love that we hit fantastic with talking to me. That's awesome. I think I'm really excited today because we are in this midst of this series of walking through your number one Amazon best-selling book, Build a Life, Not a Portfolio. And we've hit chapter 6, which I don't, well, by the way, before we get that, I don't know if you know this, John, but I jumped out of an airplane a couple times in my life. Okay. Now I did have a parachute on it, but in addition to the parachute, I had a guy strapped to me, right? It was a jump master type dude. And I had to put my trust in him when he was folding up the a parachute before we went jumping. I was watching him do this. And I said, what happens like if he messes up or something, right? I had to trust him. That's kind of what we're talking about today, not jumping out of airplanes, but trust. And the title of chapter 6 is Why Should You Trust a Financial Advisor? Because I know a lot of people, I mean, when I'm handing my life savings over to you, there's got to be a lot of trust there, right? So talk to us today about why we should trust a financial advisor as we're planning our life.
Yeah. I mean, it's the reason I put it in the book is I mean, might as well address it, right?
That's
And
right.
I mean, let's just get it right out there because what what you'll find you can look this up on Google or wherever you'd like, but you'll find is that right next to used car salesmen. No offense to used car salesmen out there, but right next to that, and sometimes we're above, sometimes we're below, is financial advisors.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's one of the reasons that I exited Wall Street. And you can find that in a guest episode that I had a little ways back with a buddy of mine who was also on Wall Street for many, many years. And we talk about what Wall Street doesn't want you to know.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason that we've all heard of the movie, right? Right? Have you heard of the movie Wolf of Wall Street?
Yep.
Right. See, the problem
Absolutely.
is that stuff really did happen.
Wow.
It's a little bit better now, but there are still things that go out and go on that create this distrust. And
Uh-huh.
it's I get it. Here's the issue though. If you didn't have to jump out of that plane, right?
That's right.
You didn't have to. You can stayed in there, kept everything
Yeah.
strapped in. It would have been great, right?
Yeah.
And just enjoyed the plane ride. Wouldn't have been quite as much fun and all that, but you could have done that. Here's the thing, though, with retirement and life in general, you may think you might have a little bit of a choice. Some people work until they're 80, right? And but you hope that you live a long, long time. You really want to be working that entire time.
Right.
And that goes along with, are you really building your best life? Now, a lot of people enjoy their job so much that they want to work well into their 80s, and many do. But do you want to work as hard as you were working when you were 20, when you're 80? I don't know about you, but I'm 54 and things hurt worse than they did before. And I've got grandkids now. I got
Yeah.
grandkids now. I want to spend some more time with them. It's not like you want to put in that time. So I don't really have the choice to not jump out of the airplane at some point and
Right.
at least have some sort of a plan. And do I want to trust that to me just trying to figure it out? Or do I want to have a
Right.
professional working with you?
Yeah. It'd be kind of like me packing my own parachute when I went jumping, right? Yeah.
Exactly.
That ain't going to happen. That's going to cause more stress and more concern and probably a faster fall and a harder landing. So, um,
Yeah.
and, and so as you work with a financial advisor, people are searching because I mean, I think there are 2 or 3 financial advisors out there, like 2 or 3 million,
Oh,
right? There's a lot. How does somebody choose one? What's the process they should take as they're looking, researching, connecting? What are some things that you do, I guess, at Guardian Rockwell to build that trust with people?
well, I think a big part of what we do is we sit down and we have this conversation that we've been talking about since chapter one, where we talk really more about the why and what you want and then why you want it. and we get to know you on a personal level. And you want to find somebody who thinks outside the box. You've heard that expression,
Oh
thinking
yeah.
outside the box.
Yeah.
Because if you find a financial advisor and they're trying to put you in box, well, you know what? Because of what you said, we're going to put you in box one, box two, box three, or box four. You want somebody who is customizing and designing a portfolio and a plan, not just the portfolio, but the taxes, the insurance, and everything else that fits you because you're unique. You have unique needs, wants, desires. So you want to do that first of all, and you want to look for somebody with experience. And again, no disrespect to those who are just starting out in the field. We need you. I hope more
Yeah.
young people join this field because we are a graying industry, as you can
Yeah.
tell by my hair. I'm like I passed gray and now I'm going white on the edges. It's a little disturbing, but
Yeah.
at least I have hair. So
That's
you
right.
want that
Yeah.
experience, right? You want to know that somebody has lived through
Yeah.
a recession, has actually managed money and managed finances through that, and also through the boom times, like in 2021. We've seen that, and we know some of the pitfalls that can happen during even the really good times and what they can lead to later on. So you want that, and you might look for the three letters at the end. You know, I have a CSA, I have an MBA, and there's the CFP and the CFA, and all sorts of three-letter acronyms. But the bottom line is, you want someone who has experience, has been there, done that, managed money before. We managed $157 billion on Wall Street
B with a
at
bill.
one point.
Yeah. Wow.
B with a billion with a B. So we've done this before, and we've done it through a lot of different recessions and different market environments and that type of thing. So you do want that. Bottom line though is you want somebody relatable to you. You don't want to walk in or call or Zoom with your financial advisor and they're just from a completely different value set and they don't understand. They're not clicking, not getting it. You don't want to be walking into that each time you
Right.
go and meet with them.
Well, and not only that, let me jump in a little bit more here. Not only that, but you want somebody who doesn't talk down at you. I've sat at the table with some financial advisors who were in their mind, they were so smarter than me, right? They made me feel inferior.
Yeah.
I didn't connect with them. I didn't like them. I'm not doing business with them. They may be the smartest guy on earth, but I'm not doing business with them. So it's the relatability, the value system, but it's also the ability to build relationships. And that's one thing I love about, John and Guarding Rock Wealth is you guys get to know the families. Your first call really is that questionnaire, diving into family background. What are you doing? What are you trying to make happen? How do we help you build your best life now and build that portfolio so that you can retire when you want to retire, do the things you want to do, right?
You know what? That's super important, right? Because this is the way I always look at it. I'm really good at what I do, but you give me a hammer and a saw and ask me to go build a house, you're going to end up with a very interesting looking house, right?
Yeah.
It's just not what I do. Could I kind of figure it out, watch some YouTube videos? Yeah, but would you want to really buy that house? Probably not.
Yeah. I think I'll buy a 3D printer and make my own things. But
It's about respecting what other people are good at, right?
Totally.
It's just not what other people aren't quite as nerdy as I am, right? They don't really enjoy this. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and the
They
other
love what
aspect
they do.
the other aspect is as you dive in deeper to finances, so many people get a kick out of, well, I'm investing in Bitcoin and I'm doing all this, or I'm investing in this. And they talk about one thing. And at Guardian Rock Wealth, you don't talk about one thing. You talk like 1,001 things because John's always looking at all things from your portfolio and from other people's things and from managing $1 billion or more to say, okay, here's what's going on. And he's your coach in the corner. that when you get fearful or something's happening, who do you call? Do you talk to your buddies at work around the water fountain and say, what are you doing? That's really bad advice. Sorry. We don't give financial advice here, but that's my financial advice is don't listen to your buddy. Find somebody like John. You reach out to him and say, hey, John, here's what I'm feeling, dude. Can we sell? And talk through the process to go, okay, what really is going on? Because John understands the markets and industries and companies and things at a much deeper level because, yeah, he is a financial geek. He loves this stuff. And that's what makes you so good at what you do.
Yeah. Here's the other thing, too, is, I have a surgeon that I work with. And I'll ask him, I'll do the analysis on the company and everything else, but I'll run some ideas. But hey, you know what? Do you use this company's product? Yeah. I have another lady that just brought on. She's in retail. I ask her, hey, what do you think is going on in retail? She's super experienced. She's been doing it for 20 years. I get great insight beyond the numbers that I tend to look at and that type of thing from some of my own clients.
So I think to answer the initial question in chapter 6, why should I trust a financial advisor, is that when you find the right one, like John at Guardian Rockwell, the reason you should trust him is because his vast experience, his network of people that he can tap into, consistent values with you, and relatability. And at the end of the day, so that you can have peace of mind in planning your life and your portfolio, that the person that's on your team, you're not questioning, you're not worrying, because there's this open line of communication. I think that's why people should trust a financial advisor, is for that trust factor, that peace of mind factor, to go, somebody else is in the boat with me, right? So,
right.
Awesome. Well, that was a great answer to chapter 6. I'm looking forward to continuing through our series, John. We'll be back next week with another episode on chapter 7 of your #1 Amazon bestselling book. When you need some counsel, need some thoughts, if you just want to reach out to John, a couple of ways to get a hold of him. You can pull out your smartphone and text the word life to
321 421 5213.
That's it. I was going to say, wow, I just lost that. And you can always find him at guardianrockwealth.com. Have a conversation, reach out, request a copy of his Amazon bestselling book, read about him, find out why John Browning is a guy you can trust. Have that conversation. John, thanks for another great episode. We'll look forward to talking with you next week.
All right. We'll see you next week.